I was given a rapture dream. This dream was given to me in the middle of May. Now, once I'd received this dream, I thought it was more of a personal confirmation for me. I'll give a little bit of context, but I had been praying to be counted worthy. I pray all the time, please count me worthy to be delivered from the wrath that's coming upon the earth, and pleased to be a part of the rapture, and to be worthy to stand before him in his kingdom and worship and just not be left behind. And I didn't specifically pray for a rapture dream, although I think I've wanted one. I've wanted confirmation, but this particular night that I was given it, I was actually woken up in the middle of the night. I had been struggling with spiritual warfare. I'd had like a couple of nightmares, demonic attacks through like the night, and I co-sleep with my daughter, and she was kind of wincy, and at that moment I woke up, and it was probably around 3-4 o'clock a.m. and if I do wake up around that time, I tend to pray over my daughter, and we kind of just go back to sleep. And then this is when I was given the dream. Now, the dream felt like it was 3 seconds long. It was like I was in a state of sleep conscious, like I wasn't fully asleep, but I was asleep, and I was given this vision. So this vision is something that resonates with me. I've had another rapture dream before, years ago, when I first gave my life to Christ, and it was very weird. I've not had a dream like this before. So this, compared to the dreams and the spiritual warfare dreams that I got, I knew I also had other confirmation, but this is from the Lord. And he made this stand out to me, that I knew he was giving me this dream. So this dream was in, if anybody's ever watched the old cartoon series, like the 90s Batman, where they're in Gotham, and the sky is grey and purple, and they've got all the high buildings, and the dream starts off where I'm in like the New York, but it looks cartoon, like the cartoon sky, the cartoon buildings. And I was sat in this I used to have a red Fiat 500, and I don't know if it was a Fiat 500, but it looked similar to a red car, the red Fiat, and it kind of like zoomed into the car, and I was sat in the driver's seat, and my partner was sat in the passenger, and I kind of had like an aerial view, and then it was like I came in to look through my eyes while I was sat in this car. And bear in mind, the dream was at night time, so there was nobody around, there was no distractions around us. We were purely just a single car on a road in the midst of these tall buildings. The sky was purple, grey, cloudy, nothing particular happening, nothing. And then all of a sudden, this great white light like beamed open in the shape of a huge cross. It was just this huge white light cross in the sky, and then all of a sudden I saw lights the size of a grain of rice shoot up and go into this cross, and it lasted for a couple of seconds, and the cross then started to close. But as it was closing, it was crashing down to the floor. Even though I didn't see it crash down to the floor, I knew as it was closing, it was coming down, and I woke up. So before I woke up, I'll just point this out, before I woke up, the Holy Spirit told me that I was just observing, and that I would be part of the rapture, and I got the Holy Spirit's confirmation in the dream. But I completely thought that was a personal dream to me, because it's something that I pray for, it's something that I speak to God about, it's something that I ask for revelation of. Like, I don't want to be left behind, God. Like, can you confirm? And I believe that was his confirmation. But the very interesting thing is what I didn't pick up on immediately, because I'd gone back to sleep, didn't make note, and then I'd hesitated to kind of speak about the dream. And I've been going through a bit of spiritual warfare, and certain circumstances have just been happening. Life's been happening, a toddler. A couple of times God has helped me when I've been kind of revisiting the dream and talking about the dream. He's actually made me notice a few things. So one of the first things that I actually noticed was the amount of lights that went up into the cross were few. Maybe 3, 4. Not many at all, which I didn't recognize to begin off with. And it's not until the Lord brought it to me that many are called, few are chosen. And I was like, wow, okay, not many are going to be in the rapture. And then the second thing that he confirmed to me is that in the dream it was nighttime, it was quiet. And what happens at nighttime? People are asleep. So people were asleep. People are asleep now to what's happening, to what's coming, to the rapture, to the wrath, to the... I mean, look at the things that's happening around us already that many people are just not watching for. And it took me a couple of weeks to kind of come back to the dream, and the Lord revealed this to me, because again I thought this was just a personal confirmation for me, not particularly a warning dream, not particularly a dream that I needed to put out there. But it's not until I had those other confirmations that I was like, okay, I'm going to put this out, but it's just fighting against the flesh to do this. So very, very eye-opening. I still pray to be counted worthy of the rapture, even though I was given that confirmation. I don't want to, that's not something that I want to miss. And I also have had word, this was just last week. I was in prayer and worship, and I just want to be clear, actually, I do not get dreams, I do not get visions, and I feel like sometimes I struggle to hear from the Lord on what he is saying. And it's I didn't give any context, but one of the reasons why the dream was in like the Gotham aerial view style was because he knew I would pick up on that, because we'd been watching a couple of episodes with my daughter and kind of like introducing her to like nostalgic 90s, something that's not overstimulated and something that you couldn't, he would connect, God would connect with me, like, okay, I'm going to give you this dream, and just so you know it's me, I'm going to give you the Holy Spirit confirmation, but also this is kind of how I'm going to use, you know, well, this is what I'm putting together. He's putting something that is familiar to us, what only me and her dad have been doing, no one else knows about it, and kind of resembled it in that dream. So very, very much to be awake, stay alert, stay awake, don't slip. It's not a time to slip. But also, yeah, sorry, last week I was in prayer and worship, and I heard, be ready. I am coming, be ready. And I'm like, oh my gosh, God, help me to be ready, help me to have my oil filled, because again, that dream was a confirmation, but I don't want anything to change that. I don't want to slip or fall or anything, or not be right with God. So the dream that I thought was personal and confirmation for me was also a warning that he is coming. I never hear words. Not that I don't hear from God, but sometimes in the chaos of having a toddler and a busy lifestyle, it's really hard to sometimes get into that quiet space and to really hear God. And I really tried to be in that quiet place and pray and worship, and didn't want to move until I heard from God. And I heard, be ready, be ready. I've also heard things before in years, but nothing like I have recently. So I hope this reaches and just helps anybody that is like me. You don't get dreams, you don't get visions. If you do, it's rare and it does need to be shared. Please fight against your flesh. Please fight against those voices that the enemy doesn't want you to share because of certain things. Accents. I struggle with listening to my own voice. But God's coming soon. I can't wait. I'm so tired. I'm sure many people are. It's a very difficult time, very weary. Things are happening around us, and you have to just keep going and keep faith and hope in the Lord. And I believe he's coming soon. I don't doubt it. I believe with all my heart. So I hope this helps people. Sorry if it's a little bit back and forth. This is my first video, but I hope that you all just come into a place, pray, ask God. I always ask him in a prayer to even pour out dreams and visions, even to my toddler. Like, Lord, pour out your dreams and visions to her. Let her dream of you tonight. Let not the enemy come in and try and steal those. Let her dream of you. And I believe she has. She knows Jesus. She loves Jesus. She recognizes Jesus. She prays. She's 2 years old. So just whatever situation you're in, and no matter the chaos, no matter the stress, I mean, I'm coming out in red blotches because I'm a bit anxious to do this, but if you have a dream, if you have a vision, there's so many false ones out there as well. There's so many. Please even pray for this one. Pray that the Lord gives you revelation about this one. Take everything back to God. And sometimes even I don't do that. I watch and I don't do that, but don't be like me. Do it and take this to the Lord. And like I said, this dream took a couple of weeks for God to reveal the extra things that I missed to begin off with. So I pray that God gives me the eyes to see and the ears to hear, because the next dream, I don't want to get caught up, in the business of life. I miss the very important messages. Few are going up in that rapture. It's at night. Not that the rapture might be at night, maybe at some point in the world, but people were asleep. Don't be asleep. Be awake. Be ready. And be in love with the Lord. Yeah, I hope that you all have a wonderful day whenever you are seeing this, evening, and My name's Sarah. Bye.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and I'll see you in our next video.